Good morning, my stitchy friends. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in too. If you are new, this is not my regular Flosstube video way of doing things. I film a weekly video update on Fridays, and I try to get them uploaded on Friday afternoons, my time, which is Eastern Standard. And so if you would like to see my regular weekly stitching, that is where you will see it. But if you are here, welcome. And to all my returning friends, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited to talk about plans, and I hope you'll enjoy watching what I might have planned in 2025. Now, if I have anything that I say I'm thinking about stitching, and you want to stitch as well, let me know, because that might put that project a little bit higher up on the pile, and maybe we can stitch it together. So that would be so much fun. I love stitching things with other people. Alrighty, so plans. I love plans. I have, as I've gotten older, I don't schedule my life quite as much as I used to when my children were younger, and so on and so forth. I kind of go with the flow. As a stitcher, I am a stitch what you want, when you want kind of stitcher, but I still like plans. I've said this before, and whether you call them goals or plans or whatever you want to do, I think of them as suggestions. These are things that I might want to do or I could do, and if the day comes around and I feel like it, then yay, I'll do it. And if I don't really worry about it, because, you know, it'll come up on another day, and maybe that's when I'll do it then. So I have a lot of fun making the plans, decorating my planners and things like that, which feeds that whole paper crafting part of me. And then, you know, I stitch sometimes what's on the plan and sometimes not. I love everybody's take from zero plans, because they don't want to have any plans, to planned to the minute, to the day, every single project. And it's so awesome, because I just love how we all kind of tackle this in a different way. So I hope you'll find something here that you might enjoy. January is going to be my only really scheduled month. I find, and I don't know about the rest of you, that the beginning of the year, that's when I'm really into like just going with those plans. And I think it's kind of also the time of year. You know, there's less going on. It's cold here in Delaware in the winter, and I'm just kind of hunkered in because I don't like to be cold, and I just stitch, and I just like to have all those plans and ideas. And then as you will see when I talk about things, I get a little bit more, let's follow that lazy river and see what project floats up to the top kind of thing. So you'll be really surprised at how my January is planned out to a degree, and then everything else kind of starts to be suggestions more than any other thing. So I'm going to start with January, just to kind of jump right in, because that's tomorrow, and I have 2 starts planned for January 1st. I will do my January plans, then I'm going to show you projects that I was thinking of starting, and then I have themes for each month in some cases, and then there's games and challenges and groups and things like that that I'll participating in. So we'll talk about all of that as we go along. But first, let's start. January 1st, new year, new start. So the last 2 Januaries, I've had a big start. January of 2023, I started Black Vintage Sampler, which I did finish last year, or this past year in 2024. It took me about 18 months to complete. And this past January 1st of 2024, I started Fish and Ships from Long Dog Samplers. And I'm hoping, and we'll talk about that later, I'm hoping for an 18-month kind of time span again, and getting it finished sometime mid-year. We'll see. But I'm hopefully planning on a 2025 finish on that. So to follow true to form, and if you follow me, you know what my January 1st start is going to be. This recently, not that long ago, came out from Owl Forest Embroidery. It's called Black Roses. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, that's so cool. It looks like Maleficent to me from Disney. Right? Yeah, that's Disney. Sleeping Beauty. And it kind of reminded me of Black Vintage in the sense of, you know, the large piece. This is larger than Black Vintage Sampler, also by Owl Forest. So this 18 months may be a bit of a stretch for this one, but that's okay. Now, because I thought Maleficent, and I think purple, I got it in my head that I wanted to do some sort of plum. And again, if you've been here, you've seen me show this. This is the fabric. That's another thing. With plans, if I know I have starts, very rarely, unless I have a vision, very rarely do I actually have the fabric until I start. So like the other piece I want to start tomorrow, I have no idea what fabric I'm using. It's going to be that day's kind of off the cuff. But this one right here is an under the sea fabrics, and it's called Pomona. And it just thought it would be so cool. I'm stitching the majority of the pattern in black, and then I'm going to use some sort of, I need to do some test stitches of a couple of different like deep ruby blood red sort of colors and have that as the roses. And I may even, depending on the size or where the roses are, do maybe a couple different. We'll see. Again, I want to see how the flosses look on the fabric. So that is the start for tomorrow. Luckily, this fabric is nice and large. It was a fabric of the month this year, so it should hold it just fine. I'm going to do another measure today just to make sure. So plans may change. If for some reason I didn't measure it right, this doesn't work. So that's my first January 1st start. I don't necessarily count, okay, I need X amount of stitches to consider a start. I feel pretty confident though, when I start something, I give it a good chance, a minimum of 200. And I like to think that most of my projects get not soon after a little bit more, just to get them along the way a little bit. I can think of one or two where if I was to pull it out, I'd have no idea what project this is because that's how small the start is. But for the most part, I do try to get a little bit more so I could pull it out and know right away what it is because there's enough stitched on it. So we'll see. January could be tough because I do have a lot of plans in January. And I'm only going to talk about my January starts here before I show you other stuff. And then we'll get deeper into January, a month as a whole. If you know me, you might know what the theme for January might be. Okay, so the next start that I would like to do, I have never participated for the last, I think it's been the last 2 years. I've seen people do blessing samplers where they started on January 1st, and the idea is to finish it by the end of January, so your stitching will be blessed. Yeah. So I just thought it would be fun to kind of try something like that. And so this is the one from Camping Stitcher that I'm going to do. I'm not stitching the alphabet though. So I am going to just stitch this middle section. And I might then I might keep the top and I might do this border. Oops, it's hard to see. Sorry. I might do this border up top here, or I might just try to do that outer border all the way around. We'll see. I have no idea fabric. I think I'll probably just pull one of my variegated flosses that I've just bought willy-nilly. If you know me, you probably know I'll probably go with a blue, but that's to be determined tomorrow. So those are my two starts for January 1st. Then, and those don't have any specific, well, I don't have a specific hashtag for black roses. If you are stitching as well and we want to make a black roses sort of somehow hashtag, I'm happy to do so. I am the world's worst social media person, so I don't post as often as I don't want to say should, because I don't have to post on social media. This isn't a business for me, but as I would like, I guess is a better way of putting it, and sharing the stitching along that way too. So sometimes I feel like if I only have a few stitches, it just looks boring, right? But I don't know. I mean, I enjoy seeing other people's in progress, so maybe I just need to get over that and just do my own. I also do use hashtags on the Flosstube descriptions, because if you click those, people who have hashtagged that hashtag, those videos will come up. So that's also kind of interesting. If you look when in the description, there's something like, usually they're highlighted like bluish, and if you click on that hashtag, you can get to other videos. So I do use them specifically there. So if there is a hashtag that we want to share, then let's do it. Okay, so that's January 1st. 2 projects started then. January 6th, oh, and I have my notebook here so that I should have written. I knew I was going to talk about Allison. Cross Stitch the Globe. One of the dynamic duo is Allison, and her birthday is January 6th, I believe, which I remember because that's my Aunt Rita's birthday. And she is doing a stitch along of all things princess, because she loves princess stitches. Now, I have this Cinderella from Lena Ova, and I have been waiting for a time to start it. Yes, it's another big project. And yes, unlike Mary Poppins, I need to stop turning this because you're seeing the reflection of the window. This is probably one of the last days I'll sit over here by the tree. The tree probably will be coming down soon. Mary Poppins, I did not do the outer border. Now, the outer border on Mary Poppins was probably 2.5 times what this one is. But I think that's really pretty. And I think here the flowers really go with the whole scene of this one. So I do think I'm stitching this in its entirety as is. Excuse me. Yes, it will be monochromatic because you know how much I love monochromatic pieces. What fabric and floss? No idea. So it hopefully darn well will be in my in my pile of fabrics because I don't have time to get a fabric at this point. Floss, okay, I'll probably just do DMC. Not just because I love DMC. I will do DMC on this one. There's a lot here, and frankly, I don't have to worry about the variegation that much for something like this big. So the floss will play off probably what fabric I choose. Although sometimes I choose the floss and then go with the fabric. We'll see. So that's January 6th. And I am 99% sure there's a hashtag. And I'm 100% sure I don't remember what it is. So I'll have to get back to you on that one. Then my very last kind of specifics, well, no. Later on there's something, but this is a stitch along. So this is a specific dated start. And this is from La Di Da. It's called One Stitch at a Time. And it is a stitch along that's going on with Across the Pond. So Across the Pond is a Facebook group that basically brings stitchers all over the world together, to be honest with you. And they do have a monthly Zoom call. It is limited to 50 people and there's over 1,000 people in the group. So it's very hard to get on the Zoom call at this point, but if I don't see that the thing is open, I usually don't get in. It's already sold out, but that's okay. I can still participate in the Facebook group. Anyway, I saw this, and this was that they planned for the stitch along. So me, Sarah is kind of spearheading this whole charge for stitch along throughout the world here with this piece. And so I said, well, I want to jump along too. This is from La Di Da. I did get the digital pattern. I did not get the paper pattern. And I am not stitching all of this. I am not stitching the bottom row for sure. I really like the house and then the kind of the trees and the birds and things like that. And I don't even really know if it needs a border. I will kind of look at it and figure out what I want to do. There's 2 borders there, and I don't know if I really want or need to do either one of them. If I do, I'll just do one possibly. This would be scrapbooked, so I wouldn't have to worry about framing it and pulling it and things like that. And I wouldn't even have to, even other ways of finishing, if you put them on mat board, you still have to pull, right? And then these kind of borders can be difficult, but on a scrapbook page, I just put the interfacing behind and then I cut and I'm good to go. So we'll see. I haven't decided on exactly what I'm stitching. I haven't even looked to see if the words are over 1 or 2. I'll be doing this on 18 count, so we'll see with that. And colors, that I am one to sometimes change colors slightly. So this could be changed a little bit. We'll see. But that is I keep wanting to say August. I've said that. I was talking to Mo about a few things, and I kept saying August instead of January. No, it's January. So January 10th is when that starts. So if you wanted to participate and you didn't want or have time to get the paper pattern, there is a way to get digital. So that's what I did. Okay, so those are my January specific starts. Now, let's go through. What I did was then I went through all of my pile of mostly paper here. I have a few digitals to show you as well. But for the most part, oh, I did put Allison's name down. Let me put Sarah down too. Sew Me Sarah. We'll be seeing Sarah show that piece too. And she just does beautiful stitching if you're not watching Sarah. Okay, so I went through my patterns. Some digital I'll show you, some that are paper. Now last year what I had done was I kind of filed them under different months and said, I'm gonna look at starting these on this specific month. And I started to do that when I was doing this year, and I decided I didn't want to do that. That was still a little too much for me. So I decided that, you know what, I've just got this pile here of things I'm thinking about stitching. And if you want to stitch with me, let me know. And like I said, it'll get moved higher up on the pile. And then there's one that I know I'm stitching with somebody later on. I'll talk about that. All right, so I have a pile. I think for Christmas this year, I'm going to do a lot of Christmas smalls. I really like having them on the tree. I have this tree, and I have another tree up here. So I have like a tall pencil tree. So I have a couple trees that I can put handcrafted on. Then I have 6 trees total. Just gonna throw it out there. But for various reasons, they're in different places and they have different types of ornaments on each of all of them. But this one and then that other pencil tree most definitely could be handcrafted. Plus I have a Hirschner's tree that I put little things on, and I have lots of places. I have these hooks that I can put all sorts of Christmas on. So, you know, it's there. So I want a bunch of Christmas smalls, and there is a plan that I'll talk about later for monthly that I was thinking about. But these I just pulled out, whether to start maybe in July for Christmas in July, maybe some in December or anytime. So we have We Santa 2024, and that's from Heart and Hand. I didn't get to that one. I thought that's super cute. And I don't even know if I would put the words. I might just do Santa and the Snowman. So that I'm trying to figure out. I'll put them right here. Primrose Cottage always has really cute smalls. This Snowman 2023 I meant to do this year and just didn't get to it. So that's an option. Christmas Wishes, I do a lot of their Kisses and Wishes ones. And again, for some reason, I just didn't do this one. So I thought that would be fun. Now, if they are in plastic, I did not take them out. I have a lot of them that are, so I will just angle them so that there's less of a glare. This one is called Haunted Birdhouse, and it's from Bent Creek. That was in my pile. I have 3 magazine holders that have paper patterns to stitch kind of thing. I did not go through my books and my magazines, and I know I'm sure I'll be pulling stuff from there as well. So those remember that for the upcoming year too. So there's that one. This one here, it's going to be hard to see. It's Stitching by the Sea Pin Cushion by Jeanette Douglas. I would do them as littles. Let me go right up with that. Look at all those. Those are so cute. I could also I might do like pick 4 of my favorite and do them in like a square and do something like that, because yeah, there are borders around it, so I could do that. You know that I am big on gratitude. This is Heart Full of Gratitude from Cottage Garden. So there's that Songbird series piece that I might do. I've had this for a couple years, and I've wanted to do it, and I just never have. Gentleman Quaker by Jardin Privé. There is a My Lady's Quaker. I don't have that one, but they might be fun scrapbooked side by side to each other as kind of a collection. I wonder if they do. So you know how in the 4 Seasons, Jardin Privé carries over, right? So you could actually do them as one piece. On this side, that pattern carries over on the lady, and on this side, so you could do it either way, which either one kind of if you wanted to do them together, or like for me, if I scrapbook them side to side. So that's fun. I might have to think about getting that. And I wonder if I didn't do the alphabet, because it's the same alphabet on both of them. I don't know if I'd want to do it twice. We'll see. Okay, this one I wanted to start this year. This is The Witch from Cottage Garden Samplings. I even have DMCs in here and everything. But I was not a big fan of all of the charted flosses for this. And it was near the end of October, because you know I have my pumpkin birthday stitch along. And I said, I don't have it in me to do color changes. So I chose to kick this one down the road. And so possibly this would be probably an October piece if I was to start it. This one here, with Thy Needle and Thread, Candy Cane Wishes. I would probably just do the snowman. I think he'd be super cute on his own. I don't have all of the Snowman Collector series from Cottage Garden. I just have a few. And I thought this was cute too, the pirate. I thought that would be a lot of fun. I think this one came out in August. It's number 9. Maybe not. 9? Yeah, maybe actually it did, because I think she started with, I don't remember. However it came out. But I thought that would be fun. It really doesn't matter which month it came out. Primrose Cottage, Christmas alphabet. So I don't always do alphabets, but I thought this one was just kind of cute. And I like the quirky kind of fonts that people use sometimes. Lizzie Kate does that a lot too. Beachy Little Christmas from Barefoot Needle Arts. As you know, I live in a beach town, so we have to have things that are beachy. I am stitching by the shore. This is Bent Creek, and it's Each Day Row. Each day provides its own gifts. So that's what that one looks like. I shall make sure. Oh, yep, it's completely in. Artsy Housewife, you've got this. I actually have 2 Artsy Housewives on the list to potentially start this year. I was gifted this Animal Crackers series by Stacy Nash. Ooh, you have to say that one slow. Miss Hazel. So I thought that would be kind of cute. This is the other Artsy Housewife, Glenda's Garden. I'd only stitch this. I really love the bird in the house, and I think these match nicely. I don't really need that bottom part, so that's what I would stitch. Cardinals Winter. This is by Robin Pickens. Yes, I have the one with the pumpkin started right now. And I'm only stitching the bird and the things around it, not kind of this outer stuff. So I would just stitch this right here. So this one I would probably want to start sometime in one of the winter months. Probably, maybe not January at this point. January's kind of full, but you know. This one probably would be a summer start. It is Freedom Quaker from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. I generally change her flosses, but I don't know. I'll have to look and see. I pulled a called for flosses. I generally do the DMCs, not the variegated that she calls for. And then I make my own decisions. Sometimes I only change a couple. Sometimes I change all of them. This one is also Robin Pickens, and it's Blue Jay Summer. I don't know what the 4th one is. I don't have it. I have to get it. Because I thought all 4 were really cute. And I think at the time, I got these at Salty Yarns in Maryland. And they didn't have the 4th, whatever it was. So I only ended up with 3. Again, the flower and the blue jay is all I would stitch. It'd be really nice. I could either make them ornaments and put them out, hang on like these hooks seasonally, or if I did them, I'd have to see size-wise how they come out. They could be like a 4-piece collection on one scrapbook page. This one was supposed to be stitched last year, and I never got to it. I think because I think I'd want to pick my own colors. This is Mid-Century Gardens, and it's a combination. This was a set. These 3 were charted as a kind of combination from Summer House Stitchworks, Ink Circles, and Hands-On Design. So this one must be the Hands-On Design one. And I think this is the only one of the 3 I want to stitch, but I do want to change the colors. And I think I was intimidated by that. So I think that's why I didn't do it this year. I always love a good Barbara Anna. I've done a couple of the Dreaming Girls, and Dreaming Miss Claus it looked so much fun. So I might want to try to do that. Then this one here was also a possible start this October. And honestly, I just didn't get to it. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I just had a lot of things that I started. I am taking this one out just because it's a bigger here with the glare. This is Pumpkin House by Liz Matthews. And again, I'm only stitching that part, not the bottom. I have no problem like picking out parts of patterns. I think it's so much fun. If a part of it is what caught my eye and the rest of it is just so-so, then why not just stitch the part that caught your eye? And that means too, you can get to more projects, because why am I going to spend time stitching a part that I'm only so-so on when I could be just spending my time stitching on things I love? This one here, I don't remember if I got this after the summer or as the summer was ending. It is Sampler of the Sea, and it's by Carriage House Samplings. And I just thought this was so much fun with all the different kind of seashore-y kind of pictures. So I think I'd like to get to that. I actually have the DMC already pulled for it. So it's not like I'm not all set for it. Then these next three, I am stitching Spring Renews right now. The other three are Summer Refreshes, Autumn Provides, and Winter, what does Winter do? Winter Cometh. And they're by Summer House Stitch Works. I'm stitching Spring monochromatically and in DMC 319 Flosh. And I'm going to do the same for all three. I'm going to use the 319 Flosh, and I'm changing, and I'm going to do it all monochromatic, and I'm just changing the fabric colors. My guess is the summer will have some sort of yellow, some sort of peach, orangey, peach. I want to go more in the peach range than straight orange. And then, of course, winter, some sort of blue. Because you know, anytime I stitch winter, I always seem to pick a blue. Another one that didn't make it this year, Modern Folk Embroidery, Real Comfort. And I would stitch everything above and not do the alphabets. I think that's the part I'd want to do. And as I love monochromatic, and I do like Modern Folk Embroidery and their monochromatics, I would do that monochromatically. Summer House Stitch Works again. The greatest of these is Faith. I know there's a series of these, and I think I would like to do the series, and I would lean towards monochromatic again. I'm not sure. Or maybe use these colors, but do the flowers as one, the vase as one, and then down here, although the word Faith, I don't know. So maybe like deeper blue, the lighter blue, the brownish, and then keep the word in the deeper blue. We'll see. I don't have any of the others, but I probably would get them. And if I did some sort of change, I probably would keep that sort of idea and do all of them that way. I picked up this year Quaternion Creations, The Forest Goddess. I'm not sure why. It's not, you know, I've never stitched really anything this style before, but I just really enjoyed it. As soon as I saw it, I think it was a Marketplace in August release, and I really liked it. These I'd want to do separately. I have this one from the Prairie Schooler. It's called Evergreen. So you can stitch them as a whole, but I think I would stitch them all separately. Or maybe not all of them, and certainly not all of them this year. So while many of them could get stitched, I might pick one or two for this year. This one right here, kind of going with the whole monochromatic idea again. This is Pansy Patch, and it's Blackbird Sampler. I could see that in a really pretty blue, to be honest with you. What did they use? They used a charcoal. But wouldn't a pretty blue, maybe a variegated even. I'll look to see what Stitchy Stuff Co. has. She might have something really pretty that I could do for that. Now this one, I was watching Megan. Oh, Georgia Girl Stitching. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. I'm thanking my brain for actually working. Megan talked about wanting to stitch this year. This is Quaker Blue Whale, and it is from Samplers Revisited. There's a bunch of these. I actually have a patriotic crab, and I might have a flamingo. There's a bunch of these. You can get them, I know, at Salty Yarns, but I'm sure there's probably other places too. I know Megan's stitching that version, and I want to as well. So Megan, do you want to do it as a stitch along? If so, tell me when you're starting, and I will stitch with you. Then the last two things are kind of parts of sets. Am I going to start them all this year? No. Will I try to do some more? Yes. So I have some of the house series. I don't have all of them. I'm not stitching. Oops. Let me make sure I move my table over a bit. I feel like it's hitting the camera a bit, and I don't want to shake you. I'm not stitching, most likely, although I reserve the right to change my mind, the barn and the log cabin. This is the second one in the series. I've started Santa's house and I've started Lighthouse. So this is the castle. I am thinking I'd have to do a floss toss because this might be a little too dark. What is this? This is Pandora by Fabrics by Stephanie, 18 count. I'm going to pull the flosses and see if this would look good on it. You know, I mean, look at the modeling there. If I can do it, because it's not all, like this side is a little less pinky and more white. But if I could put it, these pieces aren't huge. So I might be able to put it on this side. And that just feels magical to me. And Castle, you know, I mean, she has kind of the swirlies and everything. So I feel like that would be fun. But I won't know for sure until I get the flosses out. I know, for example, I'll do this on a different color. And most of them I probably will, just to kind of, you know me, I like to kind of do those different brighter colors, but it'll all depend on floss tosses. But the castle would probably, unless somebody convinces me to do a different one first separately, would be the next of them that I'd start. I have, what's the last one I have in here? I have been collecting, because that's what we do. I think I have all 11 of the Christmas sampler and tree patterns of the 12 Days of Christmas from Liz Matthews. I don't think 12 has come out. Maybe it'll be a market release this year. I have been saving them. I want to do the sampler version, not the tree, but I'd like to do them either on the same fabric, not together, but the same color fabric, I should say. And what I wanted to do was to get all of them and pull the flosses for all of them to make sure if I'm going to do the same color that they work, or the same color family. So maybe I have to do a few on, say I pick green, which I am kind of leaning towards. Some might be on a pale green, some might be on a dark green, however it works. I'm not sure. That's the plan. So I really would like to start one this year, because if I'm going to do 12 Days of Christmas, 12 samplers, I really have to get going on those. So that is also in the plans. Then the only other, I have a few more that I was interested in that are on my digital. So I don't have them to show you with paper. This one here is called Red Cardinals from Owl Forest Embroidery. I've always liked that one. There's two versions. One is bigger than the other. I think this is the smaller one that I bought. Then we have, this is called, oh gosh, I took the title's not on there when I did the, it's by Sweet Violet Stitch Co. And it might be like by the shore. I don't remember exactly. I can let you know if you want to know. I've wanted to do one of Christina's full coverages, and this one's so pretty. It's between this one and the Lighthouse. We'll see. This one is Lifted Spirit Patterns, and this is Delaware, kind of like a travel photo sort of piece. And it's nice and blocky. I did a different Delaware piece by 2x2 Stitch, no, Vlada X Stitch, and I can't find it. It's somewhere in here. I'm just not sure where. The only large Christmas piece that I think I'd like to do is Christmas Cuckoo Clock by Tiny Modernist. So maybe this one would be a Christmas in July start. I think that would be fun. There's no way it would get done by Christmas since I don't stitch monogamously, but I thought that would be fun. And then I was going through and Thankful and Blessed by Shannon Christine. I thought that would be nice. I probably would do it on more of a orangey, kind of a burnt orange, I think. The white would still pop on that, and so would the other colors. Okay, so those are some things that I have picked out. I reserve the right to change or add depending on, every month designers put stuff out. Then there's marketplace in March, is it? Whatever. Market in March and marketplace in August. And, there's things always coming out. So this is by no means set in stone. In fact, half of them may not get started this year, but those are some that I'm thinking of as of December 31st, 2024. And then whatever 2025 brings, then we go from there. So now let's break it down a little bit more. January is my dragon month. For those of you who do not know, I am a huge Fourth Wing fan. I have read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame multiple times. I've listened to the graphic audio from both of them, and I have listened to the deep dive on both of them from Fantasy Fangirls podcast. So January 21st, I've already pre-ordered Onyx Storm, and I'm sure it'll come late in the day, so I'll have stitching earlier, but once that book comes, I probably will not stitch until the book is completely read. But I thought, well, let's celebrate all things dragons. I have 4 different dragon pieces that I would 3 that are started and then a start. So let me show you. For the entire month, 100 stitches a day, I'd like to work on Love We Share. This is charted by Stitches So Beautiful, and I think it's a Sarah Kaya Quill who the artwork is by. And this just reminded me of Violet, so that's why I started this one originally. And so every day in January, I'd like to get 100 stitches on this one. Then this one is also started. This is Mini Until the End. It's retired from Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is a Rose Con chart. Now I know she's got charts with other charting companies now, so maybe this one will come back. I don't know. I haven't seen it since. It is the Mini. And for the last 2 weeks of January, I will probably pick this one up for hopefully 100 stitches a day, as well as Love We Share. Well, maybe not on the 21st because I'll be busy reading, and possibly the 22nd because I don't think I could stay up all night and read. This one I have started, and you've seen it. I started this one for Year of the Dragon in February of 2024, and I would like to continue with it. This is Celtic Dragon by 2x2 Stitch Art. I'm almost done with the dragon. My goal is potentially to try to get that part done by the end of the Year of the Dragon, before Year of the Snake starts. So, and then I've waffled and flip-flopped. I don't think I'm going to do the entire bit. I was going to do first I was just going to do this, then that part with it too. But I did see somebody stitch this and then make the border smaller to surround the dragon, and that was looking really cool too. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'd like to pick this up hopefully weekly in January, so that I can at least get this section. And if I finish this section before the end of January, then I might put it away because I don't know what I'm doing otherwise. And then the very last piece, this was charted by Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole. I have not started this. It's been my honor. And I'm not going to say where this shows up. It does show up in Fourth Wing. I will say that, but I won't say in relation to who or why, because I don't want to do any spoilers. I may start this one on the 21st, which is the day, there we go, that Onyx Storm comes out. If you've read the book, you will know where this comes from. There is actually, this is how, obviously it was written. Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole also has honor spelled the British way with the U, O-U-R. If you go to their Ko-Fi, that's where you can pick this one up. So that's where I bought it. I have no idea of color of fabric or floss. I have to think about that. I have to think about the characters and so on and so forth, and what color scheme I want. So, but that would be a quick and easy small start, and it's mostly words with a little bit of border. Getting warm here, sorry. Um, but I saw that, I got it right away, but then I thought about when do I want to start it? And that's when I'm going to do it. So that is January. Ooh, this is all going to fall in a minute here. Ah. All right. That's my January kind of theme planned. And I'll talk about just the games in a minute. Let me just finish with the other months. The other months are much smaller and not much to them, to be honest with you. Okay, so February, I wasn't sure, and then I was watching Carla. Let me write down Carla's name, of Carla Being Crafty, and she reminded me that in February, she does her B-E-E, Be My Own Valentine's style, and basically you stitch something bees. So I looked through what I had. I'm not 100% sure I'll stitch this one. I could be convinced. I've stitched a bee the last 2 years with Carla. I could be convinced if there's something new or fun or exciting that you've shown me that to stitch something else. But this is Save the Bees from Stem X Stitch. So I thought about stitching that one. We'll see. I thought it's so cute. It's a really cute design. So that's a possibility. Now in March, I am stitching, there's multiple butterflies. This is Butterfly 2 from Doreen Jones. And Karen, Karen the Stitching Out, let me write down Karen's name, and I are stitching this one. It is a full coverage, but it's blocky. So I know Doreen Jones has a lot of pieces where she's known for like backstitch and stuff. There's nothing like that in this. I'm super excited to start this one. I love the colors and I think it'll be so much fun. If you watch Karen's planning video, which is fun to see what Karen's got planned this year, she does talk about this one as well. In April, I have nothing specific planned. It's 24 hours of cross stitch, as well as this month in January. So I don't know. That's all I know that's going on in April. If there's something fun, let me know. In May, I know a lot of people, May is kind of that month where people do all sorts of crazy things. I might, not exclusively, but I might try to pull out every single one of my monochromatic pieces and make sure they get work in May, which would make it monochromatic May. That wouldn't be the exclusive because I have a good 80 projects. I have a huge pile here of other things I want to start. So I would definitely make sure I stitched other things as well. June, so last year, and I got good progress on this one actually, Crow Stitcher, they did a June dog stitch along, and I'm hoping it's going to happen this year as well. This is the long dog sampler that I have. So I talked about this with Fish and Chips. I mentioned it before. I am about 75% done on this. I don't know exactly. I did stitch on it this week. So when I show it on my Friday video, if I remember to look at the stat, I'll tell you specifically. I think at this point, in order for me to finish it, there's not an abnormal amount of stitches it would need every month to be done by December. I would really like to have it done in June. And I'm thinking, I do my regular rotation with it. It rotates with 4 other pieces. Somehow or other, that rotation is going to change because I want to put black roses in. But if it's not finished before June, making this the 100 stitches a day piece in June until it's finished. And I think I could get it finished sometime in halfway through the month. And that would make this New Year, New Start also an 18-month finish. So that's the kind of the goal with June on that one. July is Christmas in July. And I don't just stitch exclusively Christmas, but I think last year, I don't remember how, I don't have my old challenge book with me. I might pull out everything I have Christmas and at least get it a little bit of work kind of thing. I want to potentially start that Christmas cuckoo clock and kind of go from there. So we'll see. This is where some of the more Christmas starts might happen. Maybe I focus on Christmas starts, or maybe I focus on the Christmas whips. I don't have a huge amount of Christmas projects already, so that wouldn't be a ton. August and September, I have no idea. I have big question marks next to those here in my notes. October is my pumpkin birthday stitch along. So that would be where I would pull out all of my pieces that I have stitched that have pumpkins on them, work on all of those as well as everything else. And then have at least one start. You saw a couple. The Liz Matthews, the Cottage Garden are two options that I could start for my birthday, or something as of yet decided. So some fun options there. And then November and December I consider kind of a free-for-all, because by that point, even last year when I was trying to decide on starts, by November and December, you know, things get busier and there's things going on, and I just decided I didn't want to say I'm going to specifically do XYZ. In November last year, this past year in 2024, I did do kind of like my own sort of bingo-y thing, and it was on gratitude, and so it was more. There was 36 squares, so there was 25 projects that had prompts and 10 like action things to do with gratitude, so on and so forth. And I really enjoyed that, so I might do something similar to that next November. We'll see. And then, yeah, December is a free-for-all. What do I want to stitch at the end of the year? Do I have things I can push for a finish? I know that some people like to do that to kind of wrap up the year, so we'll see. Now, challenges and groups. Let's finish up with that. Each month I'm thinking, and I am not going to hold myself to this because, again, I don't want homework. Goals are suggestions. Plans are suggestions. On the 13th of the month, a lot of people do dark 13. And I was thinking of making a designated project, and then I said, no, I'm just going to put it as maybe on the 13th, I pick something Halloween and I stitch on it that day. I have a decent number of Halloween pieces, so that's not a problem. On the 23rd, because I am October 23rd, so on the 23rd of every month, maybe I pick out a piece that has a pumpkin and work on it. So one of my pumpkin pieces each month. And again, there's at least 10 to 15 of those, so not a problem. And then on the 25th of each month, people sometimes like to do Christmas pieces. And if I especially, I was thinking here, I could either pull out what I have of Christmas pieces, which is some, but not a ton. But then also, I this year did the Christmas Countdown Club from Shannon Christine, and it was adorable. And I'm going to show you a few. I was thinking on the 25th of every month, starting one of these pieces, or another small, or another Shannon Christine. I'll tell you in a second where else you can get some. Now this, you did pay for this countdown. You got the 12 countdown pieces and then the bonus piece. But these are some that I was thinking of starting. This was the penguin. Now the pieces were either 30 by 30 or they were 30 by like 40 something. I think the ones I've got here are all 30 by 30s, except the very last one. We have the little reindeer. We have the Santa face. I think these would be adorable as small ornaments. We have the frosty face. And then on Christmas Day, we got Santa. So Santa's a little bit bigger, but I think he's so cute. So those are all options. Oh, there's more here. I own this one. I bought this and I stitched this. It's on the tree somewhere here, but I think it's on the other side of the tree. And I wanted to stitch some more of these separate. So maybe one of the 25ths, I start another one of those. This one's from Erin Elizabeth, and it's Frosty Owl Freebie. I could see him going on the tree and then keeping him out over the winter as well. So that might be fun. And that's those options. The other thing for Shannon Christine in 2023, she very generously did a free countdown to Christmas on her Instagram. So, and I went to her Instagram today, December 31st, 2024, and they were still available in the, say, 12 days leading up to Christmas in 2023. And each day she has a free chart that she's got. If you go to her Instagram, she has some really adorable, lovely pieces. There's maybe 4 or 5 for Valentine's that she put out this past February in 2024. So if you're looking for something Valentine's, there is some there too. So that is a possibility that on the 25th of each month, I might start a Christmas ornament, almost certainly a Shannon Christine ornament. I love the little look of her items, and those 30 by 30s would be quick stitches. So that would be kind of fun to get a lot of starts and finishes, and then I just have to fully finish them to get them up on the trees. Okay, now each month I'm going to pull out here. This is my 2025 cross stitch challenge, cross stitch challenges, games, sales, and other kind of fun activities journal that I've have. So I have a stitching planner. I really like the Commit 30. This is probably might be the 4th year that I'm doing. And, you know, it has monthly things, then it has sections to do month at a view. Here, I use this where every single day I write something I'm grateful for. And then there's just other pages that start a month and then finish a month. I'd really like to take some pictures of my finishes or other things and put them in there. I just haven't done that yet. So that's the planner that I use. And I add stickers and things like that. I do, like for example, see January for this page, I already have those stickers in. I have that kind of all set and ready to go. My goal is to stitch every day, and then I put a little sticker on each day that I do, so on and so forth. So there's that. But then I have really enjoyed doing challenges and games, and there are multiple places you can do so. I'm going to talk about my challenge first. Then there is Whip Warriors, there's Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge, there's Crafts and Books, and a multitude of other places. Those just happen to be the ones that I use all the time. Siska Stitches has a lot of games. They are generally where you have to pick a project to do the game. So I haven't figured out, and again, maybe I just look at themes. She has some fun ones. So that might be an option. A lot of people are doing the temperature stitching this year that several people have adapted. A lot of people do Whip Go, so on and so forth. So that's what I put in the book here. So I spy. So every month, that's a challenge that I do. And every month, I provide 10 prompts of things that we need to spy on our projects. I started this, I think, February of 2024. And except during the Olympics, when there was a lot going on, I didn't do it. But otherwise, I've done it every month. You don't have to do all 10. If you only do 3, that's fine. You set your own goals. My goal is 200 stitches per piece. As many people will tell you, you can have fun with it. There is no cross stitch police here. If you want to make the most wild, outlandish connection between this and your project, but it means your project got stitched on, go for it. That's fine. I do not care in the sense of I am not looking to police you and make sure you're following this according to the letter of it. Go with the spirit and go where it takes you and just work on your projects. Usually first it goes up on my Facebook page under the events section, and you're welcome under the events section to create your own post, show us pictures. If you want to do before and afters, great. I've realized I'm not really great at before and afters. So in my group, if afters are all you do, or even just write it down and you just forget pictures altogether, that's fine too. It's really up to you, your game. But you do not have to be a part of Facebook. I realize that for various reasons, people don't like to be on various different social media sites, and that's okay. So every month, I also put the prompts on the community page of my Stitching by the Shore channel. So if you go to community, I don't do a lot on those pages. Some people that I follow, not a lot of cross stitchers, but more other types of things that I follow, post a lot on the community, but I always forget to look at it, to be honest with you, because if I'm not looking at my phone on my phone, I kind of miss it. But it is there, and if I ever forget, just shoot me a quick message and say, hey, are they going up? And I'll be like, oops, sorry, and yes, they'll go up. So that's the place for you to find the prompts. They are currently on both Facebook and my community page, so the January prompts are up and ready to go. And you decide what you want to do with those. And if you want to play along, I would love to see what you're doing. Okay, so that's my Facebook group is not just games. You know, we have that one kind of challenge that I do. Sometimes I do other challenges as well, but it's also for people to show their stitching and just a sense of sharing our love of stitching. Okay, so The second group I'm going to talk about is Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. It is on Facebook. I have no idea if you can participate in any of the challenges. If you're not on Facebook, you would have to reach out to Carolyn and Robin, who are the admins and the creators of that group, and ask them for that. So in January, so every month they do an acrostic, and this month, I think I have it already set. Yeah, I have it as, it's timer is the word. And you decide what you're going to do. They also have a theme. I don't bother with the theme. I just do the acrostics. But in January, they do a bingo board. They call it Baringo. They have 25 prompts that they have. And so Carolyn will call a number each day. And as you can see here, here's the Baringo prompts. And then you follow that prompt. Whoops, there we go. As you can see, now a lot of people will pre-assign their projects. But again, we talked about how I don't like to be pigeonholed into a project. So I wait until Carolyn calls. A lot of times she calls at about 9 o'clock my time, because she's on the West Coast, 6 o'clock-ish, her time-ish. So if I see it the night before, I can think about what I want to do. Sometimes I don't see it until the morning. It's just 100 stitches. I shouldn't say just. Sometimes that's all we have in a given day. The challenge is 100 stitches or an hour, I think, on the project you've chosen. You can do more, whatever. I mean, honestly, I don't play for prizes, so I could do less and it really wouldn't matter, right? If you're playing for the prize, you do have to post and show before and after pictures of each day, because at the end they give different prizes for people who complete, but you'd have to, I assume, be on the Facebook page for that. But as of the day, I will decide which one and go from there. Sometimes I'll do this one and combine it with I Spy or another prompt, like an acrostic letter, and just do extra, whatever it is for the acrostic as well as this. In September, they have something called AB Single, which is the same sort of idea, except it's just the alphabet, and she calls a letter, and then you attach it to a project that way. I know then they also have pop-up challenges throughout the year. So those you just see, I want to say in November, I think it was November, they had an Oh My Gourd, and I think they had another one maybe spring or summer. So there's definitely fun little pop-ups that they do as well. Crafts and Books, which is Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, she does an acrostic each month, and I have hers all set and ready to go. She released that already, so it's New Start is the acrostic on that. Here I've started to figure out, I've got my Christmas stitch. I don't know what it's going to be. Basically the 23rd, right? Dark 13. I might change what I do with those. I might create some sort of template page that each month I would put, for the 13th, 23rd, 25th. These things are very fluid. What I do one month may change the next month, kind of thing. So that's Crafts and Books. And then Whip Warriors, which I participate in as well. That is now a closed group. It won't open again until November of 2025. It is a participation required group, and they have tons of challenges, including things like Scattergories and Whip Frenzy. And they have a thing where you can work on your stitch-alongs every month. I don't have Scattergories set yet. I probably will play again, but last year when I did play, I really I wrote down all the prompts and all that, and I might be a little bit more gentler with it this year. I think this year they're doing multiple letters per month, which makes it a little bit easier to work on some of the prompts. It is one of those that to participate in the group, it's before and after pictures, which especially before pictures, I'm really bad at. I'll stitch on something and then I'll be like, oh darn, I forgot that before picture. So, but you were required to do certain you have to participate in a certain number of events and get a certain number of what they call threads in order to stay in the group per quarter. So per quarter, they look and see how many threads you've earned. And if you haven't earned enough, then they do, I'm going to say kick you out of the group. I mean, that sounds harsh, but that's basically what happens. So you do have to participate. So that's why I always kind of warn people, if doing the pictures and showing and participating and getting certain amounts, you can get, I think, a thread for a finish. So there are easy ways to get threads, and then there's some more elaborate. I think this year they're doing a year-long scavenger hunt. It's very similar to my I Spy in some ways, so I'm not going to bother playing that. I have enough challenges and stuff to do, so I'm not gonna worry about that. But there is that, and I think they've already released the first 25 things that you can look for the scavenger hunt in your pieces. So that's an option if you want. So magazine monthly, crafts and books, Whip Warriors, my I Spy. That is at the moment what I know of. Again, last year there was a pop-up Great British Bake Off kind of challenge that people did. I think people did one with, was it Big Brother? I don't remember. I don't watch Big Brother. Dancing with the Stars, there was one. So there's lots of different fun pop-up things. Partway through the year, maybe the second half of the year, is when this new temperature stitching came up, where you pick your 10 projects and or however many, and assign them a number to the second number of the temperature, so on and so forth. So there's lots of different ways of doing and fun stuff. I know there was a lot of Monopoly games that came out last year where people will stitch Monopoly. Crow Stitcher did a Clue game. So who knows? There could be other things, but I like to make things pretty. I like to, you know, make things, I'm not a really good bullet journaler necessarily, but it'd be fun to do this. I will say this book here, last year, the pages I got were 100 gram GSM, I should say, size. And so sometimes like this here with this marker, that would slightly go through. This one is 160 GSM, which I think is the heaviest that a lot of people use, and the marker, you can't see it at all. So I really like this 160 GSM, and I like the very small dots. I accidentally bought one with lines, and for what I want to do, I don't really want those lines hindering me. I do have my dragon month ready to go here. I don't know how I might just write them in rows or do the pretty colors and change each one in each color. I'm not sure. So we'll see. But those are kind of the challenge groups and plans and games that I know of as of the start of 2025. And then who knows what happens. Things could pop up at any time. And if you've got a fun game that you do, I'd love to hear about what you like to do. I know a lot of people like to do Whip Go. I figure I have a lot already here. So I think it's genius what Jessie Marie did, but I just have a lot I'm already doing. So I'm not sure I need another a year-long kind of thing. I kind of like the luxury of monthly things, so I can decide each month if I do or do not want to work on them, kind of thing. So that is it. Those are my plans, suggestions, in a nutshell, an hour-long nutshell, but a nutshell. And I reserve the right to change anything at any time and not feel bad about it. This is for fun. It's my hobby. I love stitching, and I love, just the hobby itself. So I don't take it too seriously. I just go with the flow. All right, that's about it. So if you made it this long, thank you for sticking with me. I would love to know your plans. I have been watching plans videos. They've been coming out fast and furious. If you've done one, odds are I might have watched it, but if you want to put it down in the comments, because then other people can see and may not have seen your plans video and they can go and watch it. I would love to know. Or if you don't do videos, that's fine. What are your plans? What would you like to do this year? Again, what suggestions / goals do you have? And what would you like to accomplish this year? And if it's just enjoy my stitching 1X at a time, I love that. I think that's awesome. You don't have to have crazy goals. So that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I would love to know more, again, like I said, about your plans. But until I see you next time, happy stitching.